A big-time rollback in fuel prices is seen to be implemented next week following 11 consecutive weeks of price hikes. Though oil prices remain elevated, the LTFRB decided to reject the proposal of transport groups to temporarily increase the minimum fare in jeepneys from 9 pesos to 10 pesos. Pasig City Mayor Vico Soto is facing cyber libel charges filed by no other than his own Vice Mayor, Io Bernardo. Controversial blogger and a die-hard Duterte supporter Mocha Uson formally announced her support for presidential candidate and Manila Mayor Isko Moreno. And still on the national elections, some bands, including Parokya ni Edgar, denied reports that they will be performing in a campaign rally for the Marcos Duterte tandem. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's everything you need to know to jumpstart your weekend. I'm Riza Diaz. The Energy Department is now expecting big-time diesel and gas prices roll back next week as global market prices for oil go down. DOE Undersecretary Gerardo Erguiza said diesel prices may register a 12 peso per liter rollback, while gas is expected to go down by 6 pesos per liter by next week. The reason for this, Erguiza said, is due to the average prices of the Dubai crude going down from Monday to Wednesday earlier this week. Now, Oil Industry Management Bureau Director Rino Abad likewise explained that even though world market prices for crude oil were inconsistent this week, the average of it remained lower compared to previous weeks.
Every day of the week, bumaba lower than last week. So that's going to the average. There was coming from the stakeholders or players. They came out with this projection that 6 for gasoline and 12 for diesel. So based on their computation,
hindi siya consistent this week, but the average of this week is lower than the average of last week. So kaya tayo nagkaroon ng rollback.
The LTFRB has denied a petition to increase the minimum jeepney fare by 1 peso despite skyrocketing oil prices. In a statement, the LTFRB said it rejected the provisional fare hike requested by the transport groups One Utak, Pasang Mazda, Agtodap, and Akto. Now, this means that the minimum fare will stay at 9 pesos. The board explained that it had to balance the rights of the riding public who are most dependent on the public transport system and of operators to gain profit. Now, how are presidential candidates eyeing to address the impact of the oil crisis? Should they win in the upcoming elections? Cheryl Cosim tells us in this report.
With 11 straight weeks of record increases in pump prices, several measures have been put on the table to address the oil crisis. The national concern, as expected, is going to be front and center this election season. But how exactly do presidential hopefuls plan to soften the blow of the soaring cost of crude? They answered just that during the Candidato sa Presidential Series. Attorney Jose Montemayor joined the calls of the other aspirants to suspend the excise taxes on fuel. He also wants a value-added tax removed to further cut oil prices.
We will have a moratorium on VAT on oil and also excise taxes pagdating sa mga fuel.
As for Senator Ping Lacson, he suggests amending the oil deregulation law. He also said that stocking up on fuel should be a priority.
Kung ubra, mag-stockpile na yung panguna ng Department of Energy, mag-stockpile na ng langis para na sa ganun, hindi tayo nabibigla sa pagtaas ng presyo.
Faisal Mangundato, meanwhile, said that government should allot its funds on a long-term solution and not just on fuel subsidy.
Yung lahat ng mga bahay ng ating mga kababayan, magkaroon sila ng solar energy na sa halip ay pera ang ibibigay natin sa kanila, lagyan natin sila ng panel.
For former Defense Secretary and National Security Advisor Norberto Gonzales, diplomacy and talks with other countries could be the key.
Focus tayo sa mga oil-producing nations like Saudi Arabia and Iran. These are the kind of supply that could alter the price of oil in the world.
Learn more about the platforms and plans for the country in the Candidatok series, organized by One News and One PH, together with Go Negosyo. That starts Monday, March 21. Cheryl Quasim, we are One News.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. Pasig City Vice Mayor Io Caruncho Bernardo filed a cyber libel complaint against Mayor Vico Soto. The complaint was based on Soto's speech back in January, where the incumbent mayor called Bernardo uncooperative and unsupportive of the city's government programs, policies, and agenda. Soto also accused Bernardo of skipping several meetings and not responding to his text messages. The Pasig mayor had deferred to comment, saying they would wait for a copy of the cyber libel complaint filed by Bernardo. But an eagle-eye netizen spotted on Facebook that he used a laughing emoji to react to a report on the cyber libel complaint filed against him. Meanwhile, presidential candidate and Manila Mayor Isko Moreno found an ally in yet another Duterte supporter, controversial blogger and ex-government official Mocha Uson. Uson appeared on stage with Moreno during his campaign rally in Kawit, Cavite on Friday. From clenched fist to two joints, Uson announced her support for Moreno's presidential bid in the upcoming polls. Uson, who popularized the term Duterte diehard supporters, or DDS, said she sees the young Duterte in Moreno. The controversial blogger is one of many supporters of President Duterte who are now switching to Isko or expressing their support for the Manila mayor's presidential bid. Several well-known OPM bands and singers have denied that they're slated to perform at an upcoming campaign rally for Bongbong Marcos and Sara Tandem. One of them is Parokya ni Edgar, which posted a screenshot of another post announcing that the band is to be included in the Zamboanga campaign sortie of the UNI team. The band wrote in their caption, "This is not true." According to the post, Parokya ni Edgar will perform alongside Kong TV, Zach Tabudlo, Four of Spades, Kamikaze, Agsunta, Filia, and Tony Gonzaga. Now, like Parokya, Blaster Silonga of Four of Spades and Zach Tabudlo have also denied that they will be performing in the sortie. Agsunta vocalist Jaire Singson meanwhile labeled the announcement as fake news. Now, the COMELEC is set to hold its first presidential debate for the 2022 elections later today. The debate will be held at the Sofitel Hotel in Pasay City from 7 to 9:30 p.m. Though only 9 presidentiables have confirmed participation, there will be 10 podiums set on stage for the 10 presidential candidates. The single podium that could remain vacant is that of a presidential candidate, Bongbong Marcos, if he decides to push through with skipping the event. COMELEC spokesperson James Jimenez earlier said that they are willing to wait for Marcos Jr. if he decides to show up anytime within the day. Marcos Jr. is scheduled to campaign in Marikina later today, with the campaign rally set at the same time as the debate. And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later again at 9 in the morning as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.